Hey everyone, my name is Amanda and I'm the Fun Size Reader, and today I want to talk to you about Ember of Night by Molly E. Lee. So I don't actually have a physical copy of this book. I read it on my Kindle because Entangled Teen sent me a copy because her new book, the second one, is coming out. So thank you to Entangled Teen for sending me this and letting me give you my honest review. This book is about a girl who lives with her sister and her abusive father, and she meets this guy while she's working one day, and his name is Draven, and they, after meeting, kind of stumble into this alternate world where there are demons, and she doesn't know that. That's kind of just like a basis of what the book's about. I feel like this book is going to be more of just like, or this review is going to be more of just talking about what happened in the book, because there were a lot of things that I was just like, I want to talk about this. The book overall I thought was good. So I'm the kind of person who doesn't normally read books about demons. I've read a few, oddly, recently. I think that's kind of a trend going on right now in some publications. Like, we go through the vampire trend, we go through the non-vampire trend, we go through the fairies, so demons is now it. And obviously this is fantasy, it's a love story, it's YA, so of course there's gonna be some, love between the non-demon and the demon, of course. The way this book was written, it reminded me somewhat of Twilight, being like, there's the girl that lives this normal life, and then there's this mysterious guy who doesn't want her to touch him and doesn't want her to be with him, and you should stay away from me. So like, I kind of got that vibe, especially in the beginning. As the book went on, it obviously has its own very unique story, and it's not like Twilight. Well, I mean, maybe a little. Maybe a little. Where there's like people coming after her for what she is, and okay, so it's like Twilight. Don't kill me. There were a lot of like fun pop culture references and things like that, but there was also a lot of like deep, dark story in this book. So obviously, I said in the beginning, she lives with her abusive father. So that is a huge trigger warning for people that I want to give as a warning. I don't normally do trigger warnings. I feel like it ruins the book, but I think that this was so prevalent in the storyline that it needs to be said. Her father abuses her. She takes the abuse to protect her little sister. Her little sister, they believe, is her half-sister, and she essentially does everything that she's doing to get to when she's 18 so that she can become the guardian of her sister. I am not one who, like I said, typically reads books about demons. So I couldn't read this at nighttime just because I get really, really vivid nightmares. But this book was not scary per se. It's got that, undertone of the dark world, but the way it was written was not to be scary. A lot of the imagery that the author used, I think, made me think of like, in Coco, when they've got the animals that help usher the souls across and like protect the souls, and they're all these bright colors, and his dog, Miguel's dog, turns into one. I can't remember the name of them right now, but if you've seen Coco, you know what I mean. That's kind of part of how I pictured some of the characters once Harley's eyes were open to like the demonic world, like these colorful, weird, different beings. But then there are some that are like supposed to be really scary and demonic and like zombie-ish looking. So there's kind of a good mix. But it's not written to be scary, and I think a lot of the like pop culture references and the lighthearted conversation makes it not as scary, but then there are some dark like times in the book. Kind of spoilery here. I knew Kai was in on things. Like, I knew it. Deep down, I was like, there's no reason why this guy is not in on something. I didn't know what he was. I didn't know who he was. I kind of part of the way figured out that he was the second that they had been searching for. But I thought he was a demon. I didn't think he was the same as Draven, but he definitely was. So when, you know, Kai said, oh, I know him, I've worked with him before, I was like, there's our problem right there. He's in on this somehow. But everything kept being like, oh, Harley, I love you, I'm in love with you, oh, I want to be just best friends, but I'm going to keep you at arm's distance. And so I knew that that had to come into play later. I also didn't put together how Kai always knew where she was. I was like, this is way too coincidental, but he played it off so well in the book that it was like, oh, I'm running late, or oh, whatever. And I didn't ever notice that he didn't touch her. That was one thing that I was like, okay, that was good. Not until she, you know, the time had passed from Draven's deal that he made to protect her. So that was good, even though I did know that Kai was bad in some way. I did not call any of the stuff about that not being her true father. I didn't call like the higher ups being in charge of putting her with this person. I want to know more about her mom. I want to know more about why Harley is the way that she is. Like what connection she has to this world. I know at the end, like, I didn't really love at the very end what they said she was. So they said, oh, she's the Antichrist. Didn't love that at all. I mean, we'll see how it goes in book 2, but I need explanation of why she is this. What does that mean? Like how she became, like, I need more, you know? I feel like this book was leading up to it, so book 2 may be really, really good, but I needed more information. So now I have to go read book 2. Let me know what you think of Ember of Night. I know the second book is coming out soon, so I'm going to have to jump on it so I can give you a review and let you know if all of my questions have been answered. If you want to chat more, you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at The Fun Size Reader. See you guys next time.